in Week 11, the 49ers dominated their first matchup against the Seahawks. Can Seattle even the score? Find out next.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington.
These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going.
And off we go from Seattle.
Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped it to 17. Seattle's first go on offense forthcoming, and under center, of course, Russell Wilson.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
For these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave him a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Wilson to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Seattle. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
Colby Parkinson.
His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
Let's go, baby.
So here are the Niners now to get their first drive.
They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. Burrow on play action. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Escaping the pressure right.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
They go play action with Burrow. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Slant to Adams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They'll run on first down. Bacon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And the 49ers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Burrow will throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Davante Adams with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gold with the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
On first down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
No, possession's on. Possession's on.
The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher tied. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl.
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now they go play action now. Burrow. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that makes this a 9-point game. That time a 6-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense.
And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Wilson. He's going to loft it deep right sideline.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Let's go!
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Wilson. Incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head, might have caused him to drop it.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start our tour in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's the Rams who are out in front as those teams approach halftime. Tutu Atwell, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we take the long plane ride back to Florida to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. 2 touchdown passes there for Tua Tagovailoa. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, very solid in the win, as his guys figure to be a team to be reckoned with. They now move to 11-3. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they too found some success throwing the football.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Get ready.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I
would
don't
do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further.
Get him, boy. It's all good, baby. It's
So
all
they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion, and sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger...
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little long. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Seahawks are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They'll run this with Homer. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Going on the ground with Homer. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Burrow now off the bootleg. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They will throw on first down with Burrow. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he'll look for Adams again, and this time he's got him. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Bacon, and he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now it looks like he'll throw here. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read a receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that's caught by Williams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Now Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Wilson to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And you can just about put this one in the win column for the 49ers. Throwing now is Joe Burrow. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the 49ers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Gold with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. So the victory here for San Francisco, and we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the 49ers, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers.